Pills of Trust, from the Spirit author Diaz da Cruz, psychographed by Andre Morera. Take each day the pills of trust in the Father, and feel yourself connected to the source of all the power and kindness that will lead you towards happiness and inner peace.
Hello, dear friends. This is one more encounter with the Spirit Doctor Diaz da Cruz as we prepare our hearts to take one more pew of trust from his heart to all of our hearts. Before we begin the reading of a new message of hope, and before we take a new pew of trust, we would like to ask our dear Mark to say a prayer to set the tone for our reflections today.
Thank you, good spirits, for inviting us once again into this study of this beautiful book by Diaz da Cruz. This is a beautiful gift which reminds us of the importance of trust and of love and of faith in all of our endeavors, in all of our lives. Thank you, good spirits, for opening up the space for this beautiful, loving communication from the spirit world. So be it.
So be it. So what will be the pew of trust we will be taking together, Mark?
This week we're talking, the title is God is the Father.
Oh, that sounds so empowering. That means that God loves each and every one of us as a unique child resulting from his loving heart. So let us hear what Dr. Diaz da Cruz has to share with us.
In order to establish inner harmony and recalibrate yourself before the universe's order and general harmony, remind yourself that God is our Father. This means that our Supreme Lord, being infinitely compassionate, is the force behind the ordering, structuring, welcoming, and loving universe. He is capable of offering you all that which is necessary and sufficient to awaken and carry out your tasks of multiplying the talents that He has entrusted to you in order for you to fulfill your duties and to awaken your soul's potential. Feeling that God is our Father will naturally make you feel like a child of infinite love and heir to the universe. And this awareness will naturally connect you to the universal family. Since if God is your Father, your brother is your companion for the journey and fellow learner within this family. Therefore, free yourself from those negative and false beliefs regarding the Creator, and harbor in your soul the awareness that it was His unconditional love and supreme wisdom that created you in His image and likeness with divine aims and purposes. Therefore, shine your light in God, who is our Father.
So what spoke to your soul, Mark, as you were reading this message, as you were taking in this new pew of trust?
It's that we all may have negative and false beliefs regarding the Creator. And it's important for us to realize that and to be aware of the unconditional love that God has for us, and the fact that that unconditional love has such a power and such a wisdom, and that we are products of that unconditional love. And that unconditional love, from that unconditional love, we have a beautiful purpose to our lives, and that we're all blessed by different purposes, by different strengths, by different aims and goals. And so I think this is a beautiful message to remind us that God is offering us an opportunity here in this reincarnation to, as is said here, He's entrusted us for us to fulfill our duties and to awaken our soul's potential.
Yes, that's right. And according to what Dr. Diaz da Cruz shared with us, we awaken our soul's potential through God's divine and unconditional love. What speaks to my heart right now is the phrase unconditional love. Let's try to break it down. Conditions are rules or regulations or impositions or situations that limit our power of action. Unconditional, however, removes all the limitations that may be upon us. So what I think is really beautiful to feel right now is that because God's love is free of any limitations, God loves us the same way yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So God's love, according to Dr. Diaz da Cruz and the Spiritist philosophy, remains a constant in our lives. It's a source, therefore, that we can always count on. In the same way that we count on the rays of sunlight that feed all forms of life around the globe 365 days a year. We can count on that. There isn't one day mark when we say, I wonder if there will be sunlight available to us today. We never have to ask us this question, because if we observe nature, or rather when we observe nature, we see God's presence literally blossoming before us. For example, flowers didn't blossom any differently 1,000 years ago than they do now, because they are a signature of God's love, meaning that God's love is forever there for us. Doesn't it feel wonderful to know that because we also, like a flower or like the sun, are are creations of God, we too receive this endless embrace of love. And like a flower, we too are enveloped in this incredible flow of light that nourishes not only our body, but also our soul. And because God's love is unconditional, that is free of limitations, God never destroys. Quite the contrary, God always constructs. So even when we see a physical body, for example, perishing, because the physical body is temporary, physical forms are temporary, the true self, the spiritual self, always reemerges. And through the Spiritist philosophy, we have the confirmation of that. Because not only do we have the beautiful, enlightening books by Allan Kardec, but we also have 400 plus books psychographed by Chico Xavier alone of spirit authors, telling us that the true life is in the spiritual realm. How beautiful is that? So that grandest perspective if we see ourselves as spirits living a material existence, it's like looking at our lives from the top of a mountain. Something that may seem, from a physical material perspective, unsurpassable becomes like a dot that we see from the far away. So it's easier if we wear spiritual bifocal glasses to overcome and to feel God's love, not as something theoretical or only rational, but also as a catalyst of our own emotions. And I believe this is really a pill of trust that we can take every day to remind ourselves of our divine nature and remind ourselves of the divine nature of others. At this very moment, we in the United States of America and around the world are undergoing transitions that have been unheard of in our social, cultural, historical, political history. So it's natural that at some point or another we may feel a little shaken. So thankfully, God in His loving mercy provided us with a pew of trust. We can now affirm to ourselves that we are peace, we are light, we are joy of living because we are immersed in this flow, constant flow of unconditional love. And even the people whom we may believe are challenging are also immersed in the same flow of love. So today we invite our listeners and ourselves to visualize the Master who is the epitome of unconditional love on earth, since his last reincarnation was the embodiment of unconditional love. So let us practice visualizing the Master himself embracing us, surrounding us with his light and compassion. Let us visualize the Master smiling gently to us and inviting us to gently lay our head upon his loving heart. Let us feel the beats of the Master's heart, and let us envelop ourselves in his beautiful love. And let us hear the Master in his gentle and kind voice, reminding us, you are a beautiful child of God who was born and reborn on earth many times to learn to love and to serve. Let your light shine and believe that you are divine in the depths of your hearts. Let us then extend this embrace of love and light to those who are thirsty for compassion and understanding, fraternity and love, including President Donald Trump. Let us embrace him in an infinite flow of compassionate vibrations, and let us visualize and feel the words of Francis of Assisi when he, in great spiritual lucidity, asked God to provide him with opportunities to console rather than to be consoled, to pardon or forgive rather than to be forgiven, to understand rather than to be understood, to give rather than to receive, to love rather than to be loved, and to allow his old habits to die, because it is in dying and parting from our old habits and conditionings that we emerge as immortal spirits in the light of our Father forever. So be it. Let us then take a deep breath and enjoy the vibrations of kindness and love that this beautiful peal of trust brings to us. And let us end our reflections today exercising the understanding and feeling within the depths of our hearts that we are children of God, and as such we were born to love and to serve. We wish you many, many blessings, and may an embrace of the Creator's love be with you now and always.